I know a lot of people didn't like this Gamerverse wave. I didn't really like the wave too much either. What I did like was the Baf. A lot of people turn this into Killer Croc, but I really think it's, besides the head, I really think it's a good representation of Abomination. I wanted to paint it. I have been thinking about repainting this figure for the better part of a year. Just been sitting on my shelf. I don't know what made me not do it, but I'm glad I finally did it. I posted this on my Instagram. I didn't paint the pants, but the pants are painted now. And I really like this figure a lot. This figure is the detail on this figure is so crazy. Just doing a simple wash. I keep telling you guys, washes, the most simple thing can have the greatest impact. Like a little wash can make a figure go from trash to treasure. So I'm gonna zoom in and let you guys take a look at this detail that's on here. It's kind of crazy. Like, again, whoever sculpted this was they really wanted to bring home the fact that they wanted to show these scales off. Take a look at just the detail on the scales and everything. All the details there. It's just, you just got to bring it out. I really like this figure now. Like, I was considering getting rid of it, but I'm in love with it now. So it's pretty much in my collection until I want to sell it. But yeah, it's pretty fire. All I did was mix up. I like using alcohol washes more than water washes. I feel like alcohol it grabs the paint and it sticks in the joints. I feel like when you do water washes, the paint doesn't want to stick, because I've done water washes and the paint just didn't want to act right. So really loving alcohol washes. I like making my own too with just rubbing alcohol and paint. It's really simple process. You don't need much paint, and the rubbing alcohol is, you can get that from Target right now. It's like $1.29. So just put an alcohol wash with some tan paint, actually wood paint, and it just really brings out all of the detail. Look at that. It's crazy. It's just so crazy how much detail just pops out when it actually looks better on camera than it does in person, which is good. But it looks so fire. It's just crazy. The feet. I actually painted the toes too. The pants. Now I wanted to talk about the pants. The pants were originally like this brown color. I didn't want to get rid of that because in the game they're the same color. I just dry brushed in some of the spots. I really dry brushed on the edge of the pants to look like. You ever ripped your jeans or had ripped jeans and like how it looks faded and like the cotton and stuff comes out? That's the look I was going for here. I think it looks pretty good. I just dry brushed that same tan I used on the scales and I put it on the legs too. But this just looks so fire. I dry brushed all over the pants, and I put the wash. Dry brush first and then put the wash, let the wash completely dry, and then took a wet cloth and wiped it, just subtly wiped it off. I'm liking I think that's my new favorite technique, is the dry brush, wash, and then wipe it off. It just looks so good. But yeah, there's a detail on the legs too. The toes too. I painted the toes. I noticed in the game his nails were tan, so I just painted those with the same color I used for the pants. Put a wash on the ends of them just to make them look a little dirty. I did the nails too on the hands, just to give it some detail. Is that focused? Shook the camera. Just to give it some detail on the nails. I think it really just drives home monster. It gives it a monster feel, if that makes sense. They just look crazy. Really like that. But yeah, overall, I'm really liking this figure even more now. I already liked it. I already love this figure out the box. Just needed some detail. I needed to show you what it was working with, if that makes sense. Because a lot of people pan this off as a trash figure only because it just didn't have the detail. The articulation is there. The articulation is great for a big figure, double jointed knees. Single jointed arms aren't bad. They get that was on camera. They get a pretty good 90 degree, so that's not bad at all. I really do like this figure though. A lot of people turned him into Killer Croc, which is a dope custom, but like I said, I thought it was a good version. I think it's a good look for Abomination besides the head. I do want to swap the head over, but I do like, as a matter of fact, I do like the detail on the head too. Let me zoom in on that. Can I get this on here? There we go. The detail on the head is pretty dope too. I'm really feeling that. I put a wash on it, but I didn't want to drown out the green with the yellow, with the tan wash. So I just did like 2 or 3 washes. Besides on On the body, I did probably 4 washes because the first 2 were cool, but I really wanted, if you look at reference pictures, which is something I do when I'm doing this, you could really see the yellow between the scales. So that's the reason I did so many washes on the body. I did like at least 3 or 4 washes just on this alone. In the neck area too, in the upper arms, and all of this stuff got like washed 3 or 4 times. And I took the wet cloth and wiped it off, and just came out phenomenal. Even the hands. I wanted to have a gradient too. I didn't want it to be too yellow from here to here. So when I got to the hands, I really went light with the wash. Just went a light wash in the scale parts on both hands. I didn't want it to be like bam, 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 all yellow. So I just went really light on the hands, just to bring out a little less detail, I guess you could say. But even in the reference pictures, his I don't believe his hands were that yellow. I think the most yellow was up in here and up in here. I put a regular wash on the torso. I did notice. This makes me wish I had an airbrush, because if I did, I would go in between all the lines and airbrush him a little darker, because that was how he was in the game. But the regular wash did pretty good. I just did my regular Create Effects wash. Get this from Michaels. Regular Create Effects wash. I let it dry completely and wiped it off, and I think it really put some shadowing, because if you see, I should have took before pictures, but if you see this before, this is just really yellow and plain. The wash really brought it down and brought out the detail and stuff like that, so I was really happy about that. I even washed up in there too. Really happy with the way this came out. A dope figure, one of the best. Besides Crimson Dynamo and Venom Pool, this is one of the best from 2020. A lot of people don't even remember this figure from 2020, but it was fire. I didn't see this on too many people's top 10 list, but this is a dope ass figure. Hopefully if you see it somewhere for the right price, I say snag it up. I wouldn't pass on this one. It's pretty fire. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this in the comments, and I'm out.